Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bhagwadgita, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. In this particular chapter, from verse 1 to verse 10, Arjuna's indecision and accepting Lord Krishna as his Guru. In chapter 1, we have studied, Arjuna was in delusion. He surrendered before Lord Krishna and said, I am not going to fight because Svajana Sabandhava. All are my relatives. Why should I fight? I am not going to fight. And he gave various reasons. In chapter 2, from verse 1 to verse 10, he explained his problem, but one positive side is he surrendered and accepted Lord Krishna as his Guru. So what is the take home for us? The take home for all of us is, like Arjuna, whenever we face any problem, instead of running away from the problem, in spite of any problem, let us surrender to Lord Krishna. Let us accept him as Guru. Let us follow the instructions of Bhagwadgita. Let us follow the instructions of Bhagavatam. Let us follow the scriptures. God is always with us. God is always with us. To repeat, God is always with us. What we need to do is just surrender him, accept God as your Guru. He will definitely show you the path. From verse 11 to verse 30, in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explained in detail body and soul concept. He said, you are not the body, you are the soul, you are the Atman. There is no death. The way we change our garments, the Atman also changes the bodies. From one body to other, from that body to other body. This continues. Till Jivatma merges with Paramatma, this body and soul will concept will continue. The death of the body is not the end of Jivatma. That concept was given from verse 11 to verse 30. Repeatedly Lord Krishna said, Atman cannot be burnt. It cannot die. It will exist always, always, always. From verse 31 to 37, Sakama Karma, performing prescribed duties gives enjoyment. From verse 31 to 37, Lord Krishna said, do your job. Enjoy. You are a Kshatriya, fight. You are a Brahmana, teach. You are a student, study. You are a housewife, take care of the house. You are a sweeper, sweep it. You are a sportsman, play. Sakama Karma. Do your job. Do your job. You cannot sit idle. That's the take home. The pleasure you should derive from your job. From verse 38 to 53, Nishkama Karma, Buddhi Yoga, detached work without reactions. The work must be done with intellect. Always surrender at the feet of God and do your job. No problem. As I told you, God is always there in well inside you. Antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayanasthitaha. Antar means inside. Bahischa means outside. Tat sarvam, fully. Everywhere. Vyapya means spread. Narayana, God is there. So you are not required to fear at all. So verse 38 to 53, Lord Krishna says, do your job, but with intellect. Now, in verse 54, Arjuna asks a question. Okay, you mean to say I must have complete faith on God, I must trust him, I must have confidence, keep my mind in balance, samadukha. In Dvandvas, whenever duality takes place, I should not react. I should be able to concentrate my mind and do. Achha. Like this also there are persons. So from verse 54, in verse 54, Arjuna asks a question. From verse 55 to verse 72, Lord Krishna answers. The summary of all these verses from 54 to 72 is the qualities of a sthita prajna. Aham Brahmasmi. The person who merges with God, the Jivatma merges with Paramatma, how he behaves, how he talks, how he walks, how he laughs. Because we see so many human beings. What are the qualities of a sthita prajna? This is a question asked by Arjuna. Let me recite the verse and discuss verse 54. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya kesava sthitadi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. In verse 54, Lord Krishna is asking, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna 4 questions. How many questions? 4 questions. O Kesava means O Krishna, samadhisthasya, in the samadhi, a person who is in the samadhi, that is person who is jivatma merged with Paramatma, who enjoys the stage of Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atman, I am Atman. Samadhisthasya, sthita prajna, whose mind is totally tranquil, stable, complete 100% stability. Sthita prajna, who is in divine consciousness, who is in Krishna consciousness. A person who is sthita prajna means who has got a steadfast of mind, whose mind is totally concentrated on one point, who is in Krishna consciousness. That type of sthita prajna, there are 4 questions. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. What will be the language? What are the general symptoms of a sthita prajna? Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya kesava siddhi kim prabhasheta. How does he speaks? How does he sits? Kim asita? Kim vrajet kim? How he walks? What is the language of a sthita prajna? What is the language of a sthita prajna? How he speaks, how he sits, how he walks. A beautiful question raised by Arjuna. Before we analyze the meaning of this particular verse, I would like to bring to your notice one point. In the present generation, we see so many godmen. Different kinds of dresses they wear. Different kinds of process they follow. We see so many cheating godmen also. The innocent people get cheated by these godmen. In this verse, Arjuna is asking the question. Lord Krishna replied from verse 55 to 72. So in any god man, if the qualities mentioned in chapter 2, verse 55 to verse 72 are there, we can accept him as a god man. We can accept him as sthita prajna. So these guidelines given to us. So we will not be cheated in the present generation. We should see whether these so-called god men do possess the qualities as said by Lord Krishna from verse 55 to verse 72. In this particular verse, 3 terms used. One is sthita prajna, one is samadhi, one is chetadhi. Sthita prajna or chetadhi, that is steady intellect and an enlightened person. Samadhi means he is in Krishna consciousness, he is in divine consciousness, he is in a stage where he calls himself Aham Brahmasmi. He enjoys in the Atman. Sthita prajna, asthita prajna. Sthita prajna, whose mind and intellect is in Krishna consciousness. He can be called as sthita prajna. Who is in divine consciousness can be called as sthita prajna. All his deeds are in sattva guna. Pure, 100% pure. He knows Brahman, rather he becomes Brahman. When you are asthita prajna, your mind and intellect runs after the sense objects. You work for the sense pleasures. Instead of divine, you will have demonic natures, symptoms. You have tamoguna and rajoguna full. So asthita prajna runs after the sense objects. Asthita prajna will have rajoguna and tamoguna. Asthita Prajna will have demonic natures. So to elevate ourselves from Asthita Prajna to Sthita Prajna, from Asthita Prajna to Sthita Prajna, we have to remove the demonic symptoms and develop divine symptoms. We should not run after the sense objects, we should run towards the divine consciousness. We should try to become the Brahman. To conclude, there are 4 questions asked by Lord Arjuna to Lord Krishna. Question number 1, Sthita Pragyasya ka bhasha? What is his language? What are the general symptoms? Kim prabhasheta? What does he speaks? Because even he may be Sthita Prajna, so long he is internal, he is Sthita Prajna. But when he is walking in the society, how he reacts to the society? That's why the word what he speaks has come. Kimasita? How he restrains the sense objects. Because senses are like horses, they run after continuously, after the senses, after the sense objects. The senses continuously run after the sense objects. A Sthita Prajna, how he sits on the senses, how he controls the sense objects. Prajeta Kim, how he responds to them. A common man and a Sthita Prajna. A common man, when confront a situation, he will fight. He will show his Rajoguna. He may slap also. A Sthita Prajna, under the same circumstance, controls his mind, smiles and controls it. He overcomes it. A common man is under the control of the sense objects. But a Sthita Prajna is controlling the sense objects. So, the path of salvation, the path of divinity, the path of Krishna consciousness, how to reach that goal have been discussed thoroughly by Lord Krishna from verse 55 to verse 72. The take home is, say you want to learn English, what you will do? Any language. First you learn alphabets, then words, then sentences, then paragraphs, then you read the books and give your commentary. Say music, same. Saregamapa, you have to learn slowly. Dance, there are also so many steps are there. Science, physics, chemistry, everything you start from scratch and reach to the top. In the same manner, to be Sthita Prajna also, what to do, how to do, what is the path, what is the goal. The goal is very clear. I am Atman, I am Brahmasmi, I am not this body, I am Atman. How to reach that stage? These verses will guide you. Bhagwadgita will guide you. Bhagavatam will guide you. Scriptures will guide you. So, read the scriptures, read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, be Sthita Prajna and be in divine consciousness, Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, merge your Jivatma in Paramatma and enjoy the Atman. Aham Brahmasmi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.